All right, so where we left off last time for you guys. So, you guys had spent some time in Kiev, and on one of the days you were there, you said you heard about some commotion and some boat coming in. The Agile Devil, specifically, was the name of it, and there was going to be some kind of caravan. You guys decided to go and check it out, and decided to have some fun with the crowd, or maybe the crowd had fun with you guys, and Branch got to act like an actual kitten or a cat, while Frederick, got to insult another guy in the crowd and have some fun with that. Uh, During which time you guys kind of saw some interaction happen between those with the mayor and the captain of the ship. And apparently, the captain and those with him were taking a bunch of supplies from the town that they had not expected. The town had not expected them to take. After the caravan had departed, the mayor seemed distraught, and the dockmaster had said, "Hey, there's no supplies on the ship that came in," and we kind of just gave like a month and a half, 2 months worth of supplies to these people. With that, the dockmaster was like, "Hey, there's a ship that crashed that we haven't been able to kind of take care of because something's going on with the ship and killing people that we send. If you guys will go and take care of it, I'll pay you 20 gold." You guys said, sure, why not? It's free money. We can do that.
And
Went
then bad
off
stuff
to
happened.
the ship, which was called the Fortunate Lady, I believe is what it was. Double check my notes. Lady of Fortune, I believe. Getting the names mixed up. Um, After that, you guys went to the ship. You found it with Branch's help, and continued to explore the ship. You fought a giant crab, some big rats, rodents of unusual size, ROUs, and then encountered what was actually terrorizing the ship, which was a harpy. You guys defeated the harpy as it flew away, broke into the captain's chamber, and found a small chest with some letters inside, which Feo said, "I'm going to open these," and realized they were letters of, last wishes for the captain. And that is where we're picking up and where we left off. So at the moment, to set the scene, you guys are in the captain's cabin. Again, the ship is listing slightly. It's not a storm or anything outside, but the cabin is a mess. You guys are standing over the chest with the letters in your hands, and there's a signet ring. And then you guys also found a spyglass, which I believe Branch has at the moment.
Yes. And he is definitely keeping it.
Wow, what do you
I
guys
mean,
want to do?
I've never seen it. Well, so when we left off, we were like at the top of the ship, right?
Correct. You have explored all of the ship at this point.
Okay. So now I'm just trying to remember correctly. We did find like supplies left in the ship, right?
Correct. You did.
Okay. So I guess now. Okay, it would be difficult to just carry all those supplies.
Yeah. So the dockmaster had told you guys, like, we know where the ship is, but every time we send people out there to go and try and make sure the ship's okay, they don't come back for one reason or another. And they thought there was some kind of monster or something here causing that problem, which you guys learned it was the harpy, and you guys have killed
Okay.
it. The supplies on the ship is definitely too much and too large for you guys to carry out. There's just no way you guys could carry any of it.
Well, I think I would like to kind of return these letters that I found to the captain's family. I'm sure they would like to know of their father and husband.
But who are they?
Well, Andros and what is her name?
Can we analyze the fingerprints?
Sorry, there's no fingerprints or anything like that. So there was.
So I need to give it to Jasper Gunnar at the Seaside Library in Evanstal.
Correct. That was where the note on the top said.
Yeah.
So, and well, let me just.
I look at the map.
So Ebenstall is pretty far away for you guys. You guys would know that.
Okay.
The
So-
two ways to get there is you either go by road or by boat. By boat would be faster.
Maybe we can wait a little
Say we just go back
before.
to Kiev and get
exactly.
ourselves situated there, but we'll pin this for later.
Like a side quest. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so then what do we want to do now? Like just go back to Kiev and get a reward for doing what we did?
I guess we gotta split the loot however which way we want from here from the harpy or whatever.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then we'll go back to town.
You can just give me all the loot. I'll hold on to it. Don't worry about it, guys.
Honestly,
I'm not gonna touch it.
Branch
It's probably filthy.
Branch is pretty satisfied with his spyglass. He doesn't really care for anything else.
Okay. Well, it was.
It's at the top of the letter, I believe. It's the guild ring, the 10
Yeah, it was
gold.
Guild ring, 10
100.
gold. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'll disturb the dead.
You guys
Does,
can keep all the other stuff. Yeah, that's fine. You guys can keep the gold. I'm okay with.
Oh,
what I got.
we can leave it for the ship. The ship will need it.
If we're gonna leave it, then I'm gonna take it.
Then take it.
What about Hakeem? Actually, no, Hakeem doesn't get
No,
it.
no, no, no. Don't offer Hakeem anything. What are you doing?
He's got pizza. He's fine.
He doesn't need gold. He's got
Okay, so we'll just yeah. So let's see. How do we split it then?
Um,
You
But-
can
yeah.
take the entirety of it.
yeah, you
I'm
can just
sure
take it
you'll
off.
find a great use for it.
Okay, sounds good.
You just pay for our tabs at the taverns and stuff.
All right. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Sounds good.
Whichever you use it for, I'm sure it'll be better than what Hakeem does.
I forgot about that.
That stupid voice. I just remembered.
You
Me
remembered
too,
your
I just
voice.
remembered.
I think it is you found your voice again. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Okay.
Then I say we should go back to Kiev.
Okay.
Okay. Well, in that case,
Yes, I agree.
Dumb, I love it.
you guys gather up your belongings, or what you have at the very least, and start heading off. As you guys walk back onto the main deck, you see that on the side of the ship where the beach is, you see kind of towards that end, there is what appears to be a rope ladder. It's attached to one of the side banisters. You guys throw the rope ladder over the edge and climb down to the beach below. It is only about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, so it's not too late in the day. It is starting to get dark, and you guys begin to make your trek back to Kiev. One of you, doesn't matter who, go ahead and make a survival check for me here.
Ooh, pick me, pick me.
I think the cat should do it.
Yeah.
I got a 13.
We're dead.
Where did the cat roll?
13.
Oh, 13.
13, you said?
Yeah.
Plenty high. So it takes you guys about 2.5 hours. And you guys make it back to town. It is dark at this point. And as you guys get into town, you guys can kind of bundle up yourselves up a little bit. There's a cold breeze coming in off the ocean and from the bay. You can see that the docks in the area, most of the town seems to be pretty, not empty, but there's nobody on the streets really at this point. Where are you guys heading specifically, just so I know?
Probably to the mayor, right?
It was the dock master specifically who had asked
Right.
you guys for the
Oh,
town.
that's right.
So you can
But
go wherever you like.
I mean,
should we rest first? I feel like we should go rest. Real quick
I
before
feel
we
like
get
the
into
dock master would. The dock master is probably still sleeping.
It's 6 at night, not 6 in the morning.
Perhaps we should go to a tavern or and rest up because
Yeah, I agree. I
I
can't
just
even
look-
do my voice right now because
I agree. My ravaged body needs some
Listen.
rest.
Listen, time is money. We do not have time to waste. Okay? Let's just go. No rest. No resting. No sleep till I'm paid.
what are we gonna
We
what are we
can't-
gonna do?
It's night, Hakim. He's sleeping.
Let's hustle. Let's hustle.
Yeah,
My
I
hit
think,
points
Look,
are just
Hakim,
low,
you can go in alone.
You know what? Forget it. I'll follow you.
So where
okay,
are you
yeah,
going?
so like to an inn, I suppose. Yeah, I think to an inn.
Okay, so you guys, there's an inn you guys have been to. The name of the inn is the Black and Red Widows, but everyone just calls it the Widows. That's where you guys have been staying. Okay, so you guys make it back to the Widows, no problem. It's just a big group of people at first, and just people, calling it a night. There's sailors drinking. It seems to be pretty busy. But nobody says anything to you guys when you arrive. Nobody flags you down. It's just
What?
a busy night with everybody trying to stay out of the cold and drink and try and stay warm. If you guys would like to take a long rest, you may, and then it'll be the following morning.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think sounds good to me
Yep.
too.
All right, mark off a long rest. Please tell me that's what you do when you're sleeping.
Yeah, so that is canonically how Branch sleeps tonight.
I like it.
Okay. So Friedrich in his sleep is probably going like, "Blessed Bahamut, please let me sleep."
All right, and just as a reminder, since it is another day, you guys mark off 2 silver. That's for the night at the inn.
Right.
Two silver?
Yep, 2 silver.
Okay.
All right, and then so the following morning, you guys wake up, come down. You feel a little sore. Unless you guys do magical healing, you definitely have some, like, Branch. You're covered, like, you're not covered in blood anymore. You've cleaned it
Yeah.
up, but you've got like cuts and scrapes, and they're bandaged up. And you definitely feel it in your arms and your legs. You're like, ugh, ouch. Kind of hurts still, but it doesn't hinder you at all. You can function just like normal.
A little
And
messed
just as
up
a
by that.
world thing for you guys, if you guys, unless you guys use magical healing, you guys can receive scars and lose appendages. It does happen. It has happened before, so just be aware. Magical
Oh,
healing
shoot.
avoids all of that for it there. So you guys kind of come down in the morning. It is very quiet in the morning. It's about 9 o'clock. There's the 2 familiar faces you've seen so far that have been there every day. It's the goblin and the half-orc. They're kind of sitting over at their same table, just rolling some dice, playing for coppers, kind of laughing at each other. From what you can tell, the 2 of them don't seem to do anything with their lives. They just seem to sit at the inn, drink booze, and play games.
24/7.
Not 24/7, but seems to be first thing in the morning and all the way up until I go to sleep, wherever that may be.
I am disappointed.
Are you judging them?
You see, they could live a perhaps more righteous life.
Are you sure you just don't want to play the game that they're playing?
Okay, maybe.
Well, go over there and play a game.
But I'm
Yeah, I'll spy you. I'll give you whatever you need to jump in.
on second thought, I think I'll be fine. Okay, so
So
yeah, I don't think I'll play with him.
Okay, fair enough. So you guys order some food. We'll say go with the same thing: porridge, some bread, a little cheese in the morning. Nothing,
Right.
anything different than you guys have had every morning since you've been here. The serving lady, she kind of walks up and looks at you all, just kind of eyes you up and down. You can tell she's kind of gotten like kind of used to you guys in the last 3 or 4 days, but at the same time, she doesn't really want to push her limits, since you have frustrated her at least once so far. She's very
Looking at you, Hakeem.
kind of very cold and distant. Kind of hands you your food and then walks away, and very quietly. So again, it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's really around. It seems like the morning shift, whoever would have came in for food, is probably already come and gone. And it's just the 4 of you and the 2, the goblin and the half orc, sitting at their table. You do still have to go speak to the dockmaster at the very least.
I believe it is time.
yeah, I agree. I think we should go find the dockmaster.
Okay. So as you guys head off, you notice that there are some clouds overhead. Nothing like, maybe there's going to be some rain in a couple days, but nothing like it's not going to start raining or pouring anytime soon for it there. The town is kind of melancholy as you walk through. People are kind of keeping their heads down. They seem kind of quiet. Even the normal hustle and bustle you would expect from the town. I mean, this is a town of about 8,000 people, and everyone seems kind of quiet about everything. There's not really people talking like you would normally expect. As you wake it up to the docks, you do see that the ship, the Agile Devil, that had been there previously the previous day, is now gone. It has departed wherever it has gone off to. The people that are at the docks, there's a couple of people that are kind of shouting out their wares, like, oh, fresh fish, eel, come get it, cod, oysters, but it seems to be muted. They don't seem to be as excited as they were previously, maybe the day before. But you do see the dockmaster is a little shack maybe halfway down the docks. It's the dockmaster kind of sign above it. And you just see the same guy. He's kind of looking at a clipboard talking to one of the sailors nearby.
Okay.
All right, so I'd say we should just walk over.
Yeah, I say we just walk over for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Frederick will just walk over and be like,
The dockmaster, he kind of, you remember his name? He had introduced himself to you. His name is Keaton Melling, but he kind of looks over and he goes, "Oh, you're back. Well,
Indeed.
Did you succeed? I'm assuming so."
Yes, so the ship was plagued by a harpy, nasty creature.
You see the sailor that's kind of standing next to him kind of does this like hand cross against his chest and kind of puts this 3-pointed fingers in front of him and spits to the side. And he goes, "Ugh, harpies, scavengers of the sea, those things."
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, but we actually managed to get rid of that thing. We didn't quite kill it, but we did manage to scare it off.
So from a DM perspective, you guys did manage to kill it. You guys
Oh, we
got
did?
it as it
Okay, I
was
don't
flying
remember
away.
if we killed it. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so when you guys would have gotten off the boat and onto the beach, you would have seen it. It would have been about 20 feet away from the ship, so not that far away.
Oh, man, we should have cut its head off or something. Okay. However, I'm noticing the town is awful, like, down, quiet. Is there a reason for that?
Cool. The dockmaster kind of shrugs a little bit and goes, "Well, I mean, probably not tomorrow, but today, I mean, the Agile Devil was supposed to bring in supplies, all the stuff that we sent off with those people, and there was none. But hey, if you guys cleared out the ship and we can get the supplies from there, hey, that'll make everybody happy around here." And he goes, "So I owed you 15 gold, was it, right?"
I believe
believe
it
you said
was
50.
20.
Oh, 20, 20. Oh, all right, all right. He kind of goes into the shack and kind of you hear some clanking of coins, but he comes back out after a moment and hands you a small pouch. You open it and there is 20 gold inside. Like you double check to make sure he didn't shortchange you or anything. But he does go, oh, well, if you clear out the ship, the ship used to or belongs to the Red Hill Shipping Company. They do have a place in town. Probably a good idea to let them know that the ship can be salvaged now. You want to speak to Alric Greybrow. He's
Ulrich
the local
Greybrow.
manager for the Red Hill Shipping Company in town.
Oh, interesting. Thank you for this information, Dockmaster.
You're very welcome. Well, hopefully we can do some other stuff, maybe some business in the future. But for the moment, I'll see about getting some lads over there to see if we can salvage what we can from the ship.
All right, absolutely. Well, yeah, if you need anything else, just let us know.
Very good. And he turns to you and he goes, "Oh, by the way, I didn't catch. Who are you?"
Well, my name is Friedrich Stonewell. I am but a humble servant of Bahamut. You see, I come from the distant lands. Far at the west. You see, I am traveling with this band of misfits.
Yeah, I can tell. So I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you, Frederick Stone Willman, or whatever. But
Stonewell.
yeah, that. But what do you call yourselves? What is your band
Oh
of
man, I
misfits?
forgot. Come up with the name.
We are called
Friedrich's group.
Branch and the Funky Branch,
No.
Branch,
Okay.
Branch and the Funky Bunch.
Okay.
Perhaps
I'll,
not.
Branch and the Funky Bunch or Frederick's Misfits. Clearly, you guys are kind of new to this, but probably a good idea to come up with a name. But
Yeah, we haven't quite decided what we're gonna call ourselves yet, but those are two of the
Bahamut's
options.
chosen.
so he kind of like Feo. He kind of walks up to you, and I would assume you're in there like your wizard's robes or whatever. And he kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and leans forward, and he goes, "Probably best not to let the cleric man decide for you. Probably gonna be something really religious, if you know what I mean."
Yeah, thank you. I know we're working on it.
Well, okay. Well, yeah. Well, in that case, yeah, I really recommend you guys go and talk to the manager at the Red Hill Shipping Company. He might have some more questions for you, more than I would, anyways.
All right. Well, thank you once again, and we'll be on our way.
Okay. So as you guys start,
Speaking of secular names, I was thinking the Templars.
so as you guys kind of start to walk away, and Frederick says this, you guys see the dockmaster kind of turn and look at the sailor he was talking to before, and the sailor's just kind of like leaning against the counter or leaning against the side of the building, and he goes, "What the fuck, Tom? You didn't say you could lean against my building." He's like, "Come on, dockmaster, this ain't a building, this is a shack." And he's like, "Well, it's mine. Now get back to work." And kind of throws him off.
Bit of a dick.
Yeah, he doesn't even like religion. Like,
All right, so you're gonna go to the Red Hill Shipping Company.
Yeah.
well, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah.
Okay. So none of you have been there before, so unless you want to ask around, you guys can just try and find your way there.
It's true that we don't know necessarily where it is.
Damn it. Okay. Is the Dockmaster still around?
Yeah. I mean, I would say you guys only walked maybe like 10 feet away from him. You can get that far.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around. Mr. Dockmaster, sir, if you could be so kind to point me the way to the Red Hill shipyard, whatever the place is called you just mentioned.
Yeah, the Red Hill Shipping Company. Yes, they're
Yeah.
2 streets over, and then down on the left.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. We'll be
No,
on our
thank
way.
you.
For real this time.
You know, for a cat person, I hardly ever hear you meow.
Wait, you didn't just hear me now earlier with all the
No.
commotion for before we went on our adventure?
No, I didn't actually.
You had to remember. I'm pretty sure you were meowing too.
All right,
I'd
well,
remember if I meowed.
But I suggest while we are on our way, we should pick a name. And of course, we should dedicate it to our great Bahamut.
Well, I think picking a name is a great idea. I haven't heard much from our friend Hakeem here. He's been awful quiet.
Do we really care?
Well, he's part of the team. We gotta hear his suggestion too. I really like yours, but no, I want to hear his as well.
Yeah, my
I
parents and my
don't.
brother just like came in, and I had to talk to them a bunch. But yes, I am in.
so that's
Okay.
the name he suggests. I am in.
I am in.
I am in. Maybe
Like-
if you say it really fast.
Maybe
I am in.
I am in. In.
Yes.
Wait, but what did we suggest again?
It was Frederick's Misfits, I believe,
That's what I think.
Well, it was
No.
Branch and the Funky Bunch.
and Branch and the Funky Bunch are the two that we have so far.
I think
Now,
Frederick mentioned
Bahamut's chosen Templars of the Holy Crusade.
Can you make it into an acronym?
Sounds like you guys need to write these down.
How about we come back to those, and if we think of anything on the way, we'll definitely vote on it. How about that?
There we go, I've got the acronym.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Btatsk.
I don't even know if I can pronounce that.
That doesn't even roll off the
Something.
tongue.
Rolls right off the tongue so well. So well.
Actually, I think that's perfect. Btatsk.
Batots? The Batots?
The Batoks?
The Btatsk.
Who are you? Who are the Batoks? What the fuck are you?
Buttocks?
Buttocks? Yeah.
Of course, Btatks.
Oh. Okay, so it doesn't take you guys very long to get to the Red Hill Shipping Company. You guys show up and it's there's a small building. Looks more like a warehouse than anything else. But the front of the building has a glass window and there's several signs painted on there that talk about shipping. Things like, oh, we'll ship it across the empire as faster than anyone else type of thing. And hanging above the sign is the same logo that you guys have seen on the crates, the circle with the red hill for it. But the shop looks to be open.
Then I say we head in.
I see.
Yeah.
Go right ahead. Frederick.
What was that?
Then I'll follow you in.
Okay.
Hakeem. Frederick.
I'm gonna just dramatically open the door.
Okay, so you dramatically open the door and you hear this ding
Yes.
of a bell above the door go off, and there's a dwarf, like a stocky-looking dwarf gentleman that's kind of sitting over on the other side of this counter, and there's a small open area. Let me describe him to you guys.
Who are you, small man?
Ooh, you're gonna insult the dwarf, right?
I know, come on.
Oh man.
No,
So there's a
no,
short, grumpy-looking dwarf with long white or blonde hair that is thinning on top, His beard is well kept and braided from his chest down to his waist. He's dressed in a dwarven fashion of sharp, angled clothes, often embroidered with silver or steel. He carries with him, or sitting next to him, kind of leaning against the counter, is a silver-ringed cane that seems to be more of a status symbol rather than practical use. But he kind of looks over at you. He's reading something, maybe like a ledger of some kind, a book open. And he looks at you and he goes, "What are you calling short, pipsqueak?"
Pipsqueak?
Hakim, I believe you should answer the man.
Well, you see, I'm not quite tall me neither. I'm 5'5". We're in the same little boat, eh?
I've seen others taller than you. You're like a short Goliath, if that. What brings you into my business here?
Anyways, we've come to inform you that the ship that you guys have lost that had all the supplies on it, we cleared it out, so it can be salvaged now, I suppose, if you would like to go get what you can from the wreck. I do have other business for you though, if you're interested.
Oh, one thing at a time, furry friend. What ship of ours did you liberate, as it were?
I believe you
I
weren't
believe-
expecting a ship today. Very important and with much supplies. I don't remember the name.
I think it was the Santa Maria.
He kind of raises an eyebrow at you and he goes, "I know of no ship, at least not flying under our flag."
Alright.
Huh.
The what?
I can't remember.
Perhaps
The
I
ship
should
that
have
you guys
paid
just
attention.
Maybe we
It
should
is
be
called
writing
the
things
Lady
down.
Fortune is the name of it.
The Santa Maria?
Because I'm writing things down, but
I know, dude. I've been writing
I'm
things
not,
down and
I'm-
I
I'm
throw
not writing
away.
the right things. I'm not writing the right things down. I'm writing
You guys put
everything.
these notes in Discord so you guys can find them. Jeez.
I was like, okay. I was like,
I've
what's
been
this
putting
guy's
it on my
name?
character sheet. Oh,
Is it Greymane or Greybeard or Grey Stump? I can't remember his name.
Greybrow.
This gentleman's
Great, bro.
name is I'm looking at the
but
wrong
how much?
Alric, so Alaric, Greybrow, so GreybyBrow.
Alric.
Of the
Grey
Red
Brow.
Hill Boating Company.
Red Hill Shipping Company.
Yes.
Yes.
I just thought of the Santa Maria.
Wait, we roll. Yeah, my freaking.
I was about to just note the name of the ship, then I didn't remember it, and I just thought Santa Maria.
Yeah, well, he tells you he's not familiar with the Santa Maria. It's not a ship that they have.
No, I tell you, you have the Santa Maria with your company.
And he kind of leans forward. You can see he's getting rather grumpy looking at you. There seems
Yeah,
like
you
a
probably have a-
fire or a light to his eyes, and he goes, "Listen here, lad. I know what ships we have, and that ain't one. Now, if you have business,
Probably have
like
it.
your friend here, you can do business. Otherwise, leave." He kind of waves his hand at you.
Okay, I see, but
Wow. I really like your cane, your silver ringed cane. How about we be friends?
nobody cares, Hakim. Anyways,
And he kind of looks at his cane, looks at you, raises an eyebrow at Hakeem, and he goes,
And your beard is very well kept.
and he
And your
dwarf with his salt takes
angle-
care of his beard, but, not sure that I like you now.
I'm just reading out the description.
anyways, Master Dwarf, here's what we do know. Perhaps not the name of the ship, but there are large amounts of supplies on the ship. And we've been told that you might like to know that it is not far from town, perhaps about 2 hours of walk.
So the dwarf, he just leans forward onto the counter, and he kind of plays with his front of his beard for a moment, looking at both Hakeem and Frederick, and he just kind of stares at you guys. And then after about a minute or two, and he goes, "Yep, I've decided. I don't like either of you. Get out." And then he turns to you, Branch, and he goes, "Do you have business? What business do you have?"
Yes. Okay. First off, I'd like to formally apologize about them. I try not to associate with them, but under unfortunate circumstances, I have to. Um. Anyways,
I was just trying to be nice.
we came here to inform you that the ship that was wrecked a while ago under the name of the Lady Fortune. We cleared up the area and it's safe to go if you want to salvage the ship.
And says, "The Lady Fortune. Now that is a ship that I know is under our banner, or was. That's interesting. Well, if you went and cleared it out, why? Why have you come to tell me about this?"
The dockmaster was the one who told me to go tell you about it.
I see. Was
I
he the one
wouldn't-
that hired you to do such things?
Yes, he was. He paid us handsomely to do so.
Mighty generous of him. Dockmaster Melling, and he kind of leans back. He ain't one to embellish the truth on such things, or ask the unworthy to do deeds. Very well. As the captain and crew are obviously dead, did you find anything that remained of them?
I did actually find something.
Oh, and
Yes.
what would that be?
I found 2 letters addressed to the captain's family regarding if he passed, that he had specific requests that they be turned into his family.
May I see them? And he holds out his hand.
Yeah, of course. Here you go.
Okay. So when you hand over the letters, he sees that the seals are broken on him, and he goes, "See, you've read Captain Andros's last words." And he kind of frowns at you, and he goes, "Well, young man, if we do business in the future, I would kindly ask that you refrain from such things. Final words as it may be, they are meant for loved ones only. Truly, you can understand that, no?"
Absolutely. I apologize, and I'll make sure that I would do that in the future.
Much appreciated. Was there anything else other than these 2 letters that you found?
Yes, I did find this guild ring as well. I don't really have much use for it. I don't know if it belonged to a family member, and I'd like to just return it back.
He takes the ring from you, and you see he kind of plays with it in his hand for a moment. And for me, about 30 seconds, he doesn't say anything, and he goes, "It is an honorable thing you've done here, returning that which is not yours. The Red Hill Shipping Company, we owe you a debt." And he kind of puts the ring into his pocket and kind of leans down behind the counter. And you can hear something scraping along one of the shelves underneath. And he pulls out a lockbox and kind of puts it onto the counter. You hear it jingle. There's money or coin inside. He unlocks it with a key and takes a small pouch out, and then he starts adding some additional coins into it. And he slides it across the counter to you, and he says, "Consider this payment for the letters and clearing the Lady Fortune. Should you need anything again, a simple scroll, quick bout of healing, or perhaps a place to lay low for the future, don't hesitate to ask. We are in your debt for this."
Well, that's very much appreciated, and we really thank you for that. But now that you mention it, we kind of are itching for more adventure, and we'd like to know if there's anything that you would want us to do.
And times are slow at the moment. We don't have any work, as it were. Although, if you want to do a good deed, it's best that you reach out to the mayor. Mayor Fenrich will probably want to know that the ship has been found, and hopefully some of the supplies can be salvaged. It'll definitely help the town moving things along. We're still reeling from what happened with yesterday with the Agile Devil. It's most unexpected.
Yeah, we noticed that the town is awful sad. Apparently, no sales, nothing's going on. Yeah, we'll get a hold of the mayor and see if we can help in any way. And once again, I want to apologize for our two friends here. We're working things out with them.
Best you work them out quickly. If you wish to do further work for not just us, but for others, it'd be good to have a name for yourselves and not have the unsavory type, as it were, speak for you on your behalf. Speaking of names, though, what do you call yourselves?
Oh,
He
man.
He pulls out the ledger he had before and pulls out a quill, and he goes, so I can mark it down for us so we know who we're dealing with. Moving on.
Didn't we have a name earlier?
No, okay, how about that? Okay.
Bahamut's chosen Templars of the Holy Crusade, yes.
Well, thankfully, in this case, Frederick is not
here.
present.
Which is perfect.
Branch, do you got anything that you thought of?
You can call us the Foo Fighters.
Ooh, I like that actually.
Ooh.
That's not bad.
I actually like it.
Okay, is that what you guys are going with? Is the Foo Fighters?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Okay, so he writes
Alright.
down Foo. So he asks how you spell Foo. Because he writes it down
we'll
as few fighters.
F-U? Like F-U?
No, yeah, F-U. No, we're doing with F-U.
Yeah. I agree.
So are you guys just writing FU and then
Isn't it
fighters?
And then fighters.
Yeah.
Fuck you, fighters.
Few
Yeah.
fighters. Foo Fighters. Okay. So FU Fighters it is then. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it actually.
All right. So your party is now forever known as the FU Fighters. Foo Fighters pronouncing.
Oh yeah, let me just type down fighter.
There you go. I put it in the chat for you. All right. Well, he jots down Foo Fighters. Oh God, he's not writing it that way. He's a And actually, I would say he probably would write it F-U-U, two U's, and fighters, and what he writes in the book. But he says, very well, good day. If you need anything else, please. He does look to you, Branch, and he asks if you had any other business, since you had mentioned something specific about business for him.
Oh, the other business I mentioned were just the letters.
Okay. Well, then he thanks you for your guys' time. The pouch he gave you has 25 gold in it.
Okay.
Alright,
I will split it with
I will-
these guys.
Theo.
Oh, you want to
I'm
split it?
in
Oh.
B-
Well, that's true. We did most of the negotiation. I just
I-
had how much?
they-
25 gold?
25 gold, yes.
Yeah, here, I'll take 12. You can take 15.
Okay, sounds good.
They don't have to be any the wiser.
I agree. And by the way, you know what? You take the 13 since you did come up with the name, and that's a very good name.
Okay. Thank you, Theo. And perhaps we should go meet with our colleagues. I guess we could call them.
Yeah, I guess they're part of the team now, right? Yeah, let's see if we can go talk to the mayor as well. Maybe we might get some more gold out of this and maybe another job.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so your two compatriots are standing outside the business. Frederick said he's crying.
Frederick, what would Bahamut say if he saw you like this?
You are correct. A righteous soul does not cry. A righteous soul does not feel regret.
Cheer up, Frederick. Look, we picked up a name for our group now. What do you think about FU Fighters? We're the Foo Fighters.
I had faith in you. No longer.
Well, you'll grow it. You'll grow to like it.
I doubt it.
Well, you don't have a choice now. We're gonna go talk to the mayor.
All right, so go ahead and somebody, doesn't matter who, you can roll either a persuasion check or an investigation check for me here.
Investigation.
Go for
That
it, Frederick.
should definitely not be me.
I
I'm
do
keeping
have.
You see, I am not very intelligent.
I got +1, but I got really good for wisdoms, but
You
that's
didn't
not.
have to tell us that, Frederick. We kind of knew already.
I do have a +3.
That was
I'll roll.
sad.
Doesn't matter who, so somebody roll.
Oh God, I got a 9 for investigation.
Okay, anyone else gonna roll? Or are you guys just going with the 9?
Oh, we can all roll?
Yeah, you can all roll if you want.
Okay.
I'm gonna
You
try
can
my
either do
luck
an investigation
with a 7.
or a persuasion check.
Branch got a 13.
Hakeem with a 17.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got a 9 no matter what. Like a
Ooh.
persuasion's a 9 and a investigation 9.
All right, so you guys leave the Red Hill Shipping Company, and you guys are kind of in like a warehouse district a little bit. You guys head back into town a little bit more towards the center of town. You come back to the center of town where the square is, kind of the raised area on the stone, and the what is it? I don't remember what it's called. It's like an obelisk almost that has the streets or like the distances between towns at the center of the town for you there. You guys there's definitely people about. You guys ask some questions. Frederick and Feo, people just kind of look at you and look you up and down, and then the two of you, they just kind of ignore you and walk away. But Branch and Hakeem, you guys managed to split up a little bit and ask some questions and lead the party kind of towards a section of town where you think the mayor is, and people are kind of pointing, oh, we saw him around the corner over there, or he's like 2 streets down, I saw him, and you kind of follow this path where you slowly figure out where he is. And over the next hour, you finally come to the, it's a general store. It's called the Simple Stock. And you can see the mayor as you kind of round the corner. He's outside the building. And as a reminder, all the buildings are on these kind of like stilts that are up in the air, or that raise the buildings up in the air. And the Simple Stock has a set of stairs going down the front of it and the back of it. You're assuming so that people can go up and in and easily. And down at the bottom of the stairs, you see the mayor talking to what looks to be a human woman. They're about 30-40 feet away from you guys at this point.
And who sees it? Is it just
All of you.
Frederick?
You guys
Oh,
just
we
kinda
all do.
around the corner of the all the stilts and the fences that are there, and see them down the way. They're about 30 feet away.
Huh.
I kind of want to see if I can overhear their conversation.
Sure, it'd be a perception check in this case.
A perception? Okay.
Yes, perception check.
Got a 15.
Okay. So you guys get maybe 5 or 6 feet closer, and you kind of hold up your hands and stop the rest of the party. And you lean over and listen. And you can hear the mayor and the woman. They are talking about the abundance of supplies that the group from the Agile Devil took. You hear the woman, she's complaining that she doesn't know if she'll have enough supplies, the bare necessities for people in town before the winter's end. She says if she does, that her business is going to suffer, and that she's might go out of business for it. You can hear the mayor's kind of like trying to reassure her, saying, oh, things are going to be fine, we're going to figure things out, we've been through tough times, we'll get this all worked out, type of thing. And it just seems to be that she's concerned, and he's trying his best to smooth things over for her.
Okay. I think I want to just approach the mayor, not necessarily interrupt, but kind of let it be known that that we're walking up to him, that we see him.
Okay. He kind of notices you, and the conversation, the two of them kind of watches you approach. And they don't like. There's not this awkward moment of like, why are you interrupting? It's just kind of like, okay, oh, there's somebody else here. Kind of end of the conversation, and the mayor and the woman, they kind of turn to you, and then the woman goes, "Oh, are you here to pick something up?"
Not really. We're here to talk to the mayor about possibly helping out in any way we can.
For the right price.
Shut up, Hakim.
So the mayor kind of looks you over and he goes, "I remember you four. You were the four from yesterday, were you not?"
Well, of course.
Yeah, my friend here, Frederick, says, of course.
Yes. I remember you walked up and asked the same question yesterday, I believe. I'm sorry, I don't have much or anything that we can help with unless you have a way of getting supplies for us at the moment. But I please, as citizens here, I beg you not to worry over it. We will be through this and things will work out okay.
Of course, Bahamut is with us always.
And the mayor kind of nods and says, yes, of course he is. Yes. Well, Caitlin, it was wonderful talking to you. I will come back in a few days and see how much more I can help with you. Okay? And she goes, yeah, sure thing, Zilbram. Kind of, her shoulders kind of slump, and she kind of just looks over at you and goes, were you gonna buy anything, or were you just here to speak with the mayor?
No, I'm gonna try to reassure the mayor.
I wasn't gonna buy something from her. I want to see what she has to offer.
Okay, so she is it's such a general store, so there's no anything in the book that she would have is going to be 10% above normal. She does have a limited supply, but there's no weapons or armor. So food stocks, axes,
So
oil,
like rations or something like that.
Yeah, she'd have all that
Okay,
stuff.
I'll buy some rations from her.
Okay, so it's 10% above whatever is in the book, or whatever the base price is. Which I think is a gold per day, so it would be like a gold and a silver.
Yeah, that's fine. I will buy 2 days worth of rations, I suppose.
Okay, just mark it off. So as you're buying this, the mayor is kind of looking at the rest of you, and he says, "Well, if you, I appreciate the effort, but like I said, we'll get through this. Everything will be okay."
I shall pray for Bahamut to bring supplies to your fair village.
Prayers are always welcome. The gods are listening, aren't they? And he kind of
Frederick starts just praying right there.
Okay, so you go into this prayer about Bahamut.
Yeah, just like, please, blessed Bahamut, bring food for these poor people.
So Branch and Hakeem, what are you two doing at this point? You just watch like Frederick just kind of go into this spiel about praying. The mayor looks very awkward at this point.
Perfect.
I kind of just like tune them out anytime
He's licking his
learned-
paws.
I've learned anytime Frederick and Hakeem start talking to just like
No. Branch. Branch. You and I, we're not so different. You and I, okay?
Hakeem, don't ever say that to me ever again. If you value your 17 hit points, don't ever say that to me again, Hakeem.
If you value your life, shut up now, is what he's saying.
I am done with my prayer. By the end of the day, thousands of supplies should rain over the city.
The mayor kind of goes, well, thank you for that, and he just kind of slowly starts to back away, like even the
You are most welcome.
He was already starting to back away. Now he's really like obviously taking a step back.
Okay, can I ask? I want to ask Branch if there was anything that we needed to give to the mayor, or just ask him. I'm forgetting.
I think we just needed to mention the Lady Fortune, the supplies at the ship.
Oh, that's true.
That was it.
Correct. That was what Aldrich.
That's the whole purpose of us finding him.
Yeah.
So he still hasn't run off yet, right?
No, he's kind of starting to back away as Frederick has begun to end his prayer.
Okay, what is his name? I keep forgetting his name.
So it's Mayor Zilbram.
Zilbram.
Fenrich.
Okay, so I'm gonna call it to Mayor Zilbram.
He kind of stops and looks to you.
Well,
Yes.
just as my friend Frederick here has finished his prayer, I'd like to give you some good news. We were able to clear out Lady Fortune and get some supplies. We spoke with Ulrich Greybrow, and he is getting ready to go retrieve those supplies, and we'd like to let you know that.
What? Well, lad, why didn't you say that to begin with? And he kind of takes like a quick jump forward and grabs your hand and quick shakes your hand overzealously. And he goes, well, that's great news. That's the best news we've heard all day. And then he kind of turns to you, Branch, and just quickly like grabs your hand. Like you're like, okay, this is awkward. And he just vigorously shakes your hand. He goes to Frederick and he goes, yeah, your prayer worked. And he kind of pats you on the shoulder and then does the same to Hakeem. And he goes, maybe, yeah, well, thank you for your prayers too. Well, thank you, all of you. I really must go tell the town. We must have an announcement. It must be official. Oh yes, and thank you very much. And he just kind of turns and quickly walks away.
I love your acting.
So good.
You're great.
What do we do? Branch, Frederick, Hakeem, I want to say you guys did a great job. I think it's time to celebrate.
Oh. Yeah, it's all on you, right?
Oh, that's right. Well, we can celebrate, but let's just take it easy, right? Couple drinks, nothing extravagant.
Okay, well, since I know we're a little bit of a time crunch for everybody tonight, and I know it gets late for a couple of you guys, so you guys will have a few days of downtime at this point. So you guys have roughly 6 days of downtime. So there's
Holy
no
moly.
other major things that occur. So you guys can go back and drink, have food. The town seems to get more lively. On about 2 days after this, you guys notice, like, you guys overhear a conversation. There's definitely like commotion going on in town, but like on the second day in the morning, you overhear, it sounds like the cook is complaining about something.
Ooh. Can I ask him, or
Yeah.
can I try to overhear it?
Yeah. So I mean, it's easy enough to overhear. You kind of hear him complaining. It's mumbling throughout the whole day in the morning. But by mid-afternoon, again, it's been 2 days since you guys have talked to everyone, and there's been an announcement, and people are like, "Yay! There are food and supplies. Things have been found." People have bought you drinks as well. We kind of heard of you a little bit, but you overhear the cook. His name is Halrik, and he's complaining to the innkeeper that his 2 cats have gone missing. The innkeeper is kind of like, "Yeah, whatever. They're cats. Don't worry about it. They'll be back," kind of response.
Okay. His name is Reek.
Halreak. So
Halreak.
Halreak. He is a half-elf. He's a pot-bellied and round-faced with shaggy, deep brown hair that looks more greasy than anything else. He's missing several teeth and has a crooked smile. Seems a little slow.
He's
So
cute.
where are we?
You guys are back at the inn, the Widows.
Okay.
For it. So, Frederick, since you missed it, so you guys have about 6 days of downtime at this point.
Okay.
So there's no commotion, nothing really goes on. The mayor made an announcement.
All right.
The town is like, "Yay, we've got supplies. The Lady Fortune's been salvaged," kind of thing. People have bought you rounds of drinks, all that kind of stuff. In terms of coinage and spending without going extravagant, everyone just mark off a gold. That'll cover you
All
for
right.
the 6 days for food and lodging. But what you had missed was that you guys had overheard, or at least Feo here had overheard, that the cook was complaining to the innkeeper of the widows about his missing cats.
Oh, now that's important.
Yeah. So Halric,
This is of
what-
utmost
your
concern
cats-
to Branch.
What's this I hear about your cat's gone missing?
So you guys walk up to Halric as he's kind of like done talking to the innkeeper, and he kind of goes, "What, you heard me?" And you see, like, when he speaks, he's got this kind of drawl, and it sounds like he's a little slow in the head, but he seems kind of mystified that you heard him.
Well, yeah, buddy, you were talking quite loudly, and it seemed like you really care about your cats. So, well, what happened to them? They're
Well,
just gone?
They are, yeah. He's like, this place is gonna go downhill without Mr. Smudge and Mr. Whiskers. They're the best cats here, the best.
Well,
now.
would you like us to find them?
Well, yeah, if we could. He kind of leans forward, and he, like, you're right. He's not quiet when he talks. Like, he acts like he's whispering, but it's really more of like room voice kind of thing. And he says, "Well, I think Kale took them. He was my friend once."
Kale?
Yeah.
So his
Uh,
so it's like the food.
Well, he kind of has a confused look on his face. How is Kale food? He's a tiefling.
Well,
Frederick,
you
would
see,
like to explain
I meant his name. You see, back in the temple in Darnwick, we used to eat lots of kale, and I don't mean your not friend anymore. I mean, it's a sort of plant. Very disgusting.
Well, if it's disgusting, why did you eat it?
Do you think we were rich?
Or he kind of looks you up and down and he goes, "No, but why would you eat it if it's gross?"
It is good for you. It nourishes the soul of a righteous person.
He kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
it, say it like helps the soul and nurtures it. And he's like, "Oh, if there's food that nurtures the soul, you gotta tell me that recipe. I'm sure I could sell it here."
Well, of course.
I can't stop laughing.
Well, so if you find my cats, will you also teach me this recipe?
Sure.
Frederick? Yeah? Oh, okay, there you go.
Okay. So Kale might not. And he kind of thinks for a moment. You can see like the wheel spinning for a moment. He's like, "My not nutritious former friend that's a tiefling." And he kind of looks to you, Frederick, and goes, "Your food is gonna need a name, a better name. Yeah, it can't be Kale, but yeah, he was my friend."
Okay, so what happened? Why are you guys not friends anymore?
Well, he kind of leans forward a little bit. You see, he pulls out, like, he's got his apron, there's grease all over it. He kind of smudges his hands in more grease on the apron as he's trying to, like, clean his hands. And he leans forward and he goes, "Well, we were trying to make a new dish for the mayor. It didn't go well. No, it didn't go well at all. And Kale says it was my fault." And he kind of leans forward a little bit further, like he's looking like he's trying to whisper, but definitely not whisper. It's almost like yelling into your ear. And he goes, "But I know it was Kale's fault, not mine. My food is good, best there is."
Oh, I believe.
I mean, you are the one who prepares the meals here, right?
And they're the best, aren't they?
That porridge is very good.
Could be better.
Absolutely, Halric. It's delicious.
Well, thank you. Maybe I'll have to give you guys the special one day. That I think you'll really like.
I'll take the special right now.
Oh, well, it takes some time to make, so if you bring the cats back, I'll have some for you.
Oh, okay.
That sounds perfect. What is your
Francis
name
with respect.
again?
So his name is Halrik. It's HALRRAK.
Halrik. Okay. Halrik. Yes.
So he would tell you that Kale he is the chef at the Lost Key. It's an inn in town. It's across town. You guys have been there before when you guys went looking for all the sailors.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Branch turns around the corner outside the inn, and he walks back in on all fours. It's like I think I found one of your cats.
You see Halric just kind of look at you, and then he goes, and he starts slapping his belly, and he goes, "You're funny, I like you," and then goes into the back. You can hear him laughing in the back.
I don't think he's that slow, Branch. But good try.
Worth a shot.
Branch. So it's not about how you look, but do you know anything about cats?
Something's telling me that this is about how I look.
It is definitely not. It definitely is.
I know we like to explore.
Are you talking
We
about
don't
him showing his butthole to everybody?
I think we should just go to the Lost Key and
Well, we definitely
Yes,
have
I
something to do
agree.
now.
I don't think I wish to speak about cats anymore. The whole topic seems controversial.
Alright, well,
Yeah, I agree.
it's easy enough for you guys to make it over to the Lost Key Inn. You guys have been here before. You guys didn't really spend a whole lot of time. You guys, again, were looking for drunken sailors. But you guys step in, and as you guys are kind of looking around, like, there's people here. Again, not a lot. But there's a young female woman that kind of steps up, and she's got a kind of like a ditzy look to her, like not really in her eyes more than her face. And she's cute but young, kind of like you probably need to grow up a little. But she kind of just looks at you, going, she's, "Hi, are you here for a room?" She has a kind of a lisp to her as she speaks.
No, we're actually looking for a fellow named Kale.
Oh, the cook? What are you looking for him
Yes,
for?
he has some information on a certain feline animal that we'd like to inquire about.
Oh,
It
okay.
is of utmost importance, believe me.
She kind of goes, "Oh, okay." It's kind of like her voice trails off for a moment. You can see she's kind of like daydreaming a little bit, and she kind of comes back. Goes, "Oh, I'll see if he's busy." And she kind of just slowly, kind of like nonchalant. She almost like skips as she walks. Goes around and helps another person. You guys are kind of just standing by the door, like, "Okay, come on, like, we need help. Like, we're trying to find this guy." She's got like that young teenage, like, probably say 15, 16 years old, kind of like, "Okay, I'm just doing this just to do it, don't really care" kind of attitude.
Teenage angst.
Yeah.
Great.
She's more of a daydreamer, though, by far. And so after a couple of minutes, you guys are kind of like, "Okay, we should just go ask the innkeeper at this point." She goes into the back, and this kind of half orc guy comes out. He's dressed pot-bellied, kind of similar to Halric in terms of like the way their aprons are covered in grease and dirt, or not dirt, grime, but like cooking grease. And he kind of looks at you through the three of you or four of you, and he goes, "What do you want?" I'm sorry, he's a tiefling, not a half orc. So he's a tiefling. I'm mixing people up.
Okay, the tiefling.
Yeah, he's a tiefling, so he's got horns and a tail, kind of a purplish skin to him. But he's like, "What do you want?"
Well, we're here because we talked to an old friend of yours, Halric, and he just wanted to know if, by any chance, you knew where his cats were.
Maybe. He kind of seems awkward.
Also, you've seen them?
He kind of looks around. Am I in trouble?
No. I mean, we're just trying to find him for him. He's been really worried for him.
So I'm not in trouble?
Well, not yet. Is there something you want to tell us?
He kind of like goes, they're in the back.
They're in the back? Can we go back there with you?
As long as I don't get in trouble.
Oh man, this is not going to end well, is it?
Well, you won't get in trouble if you just let us see the cats.
Branch, do you want to go back there? This doesn't sound like it's gonna go well.
Yeah. What?
If those cats were harmed in any way, I have to let you know right now. I don't know if I can hold myself back from hurting you.
Branch, you have. Branch.
Okay. Well, I didn't hurt them. I wouldn't do that. And he was like,
"Oh, okay.
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 This way." He seems more awkward and more concerned about getting in trouble. He's not slow. He's just
worried,
like,
concerned,
innocent.
I guess.
He's just kind of naive to the world, would be a way to put it.
Okay.
But he leads you into the back, and like here's cook stations, like there's fires going, and there's spit. But he leads you past all that, kind of into the back of this dry storage section, and sitting in two wicker cages, there's two cats. They seem to be healthy and in good shape. Well, there's one's an orange tabby, and the other one's a black and white short-haired cat.
Smudge, Whiskers, is that you?
And they both kind of meow at you guys.
Okay, I think that's them. Kale, why do you have them? Your friend Halric was really worried about them.
He's not my friend anymore. He ruined our dish.
Yeah, he told me that you were making a dish for the mayor. What happened?
Whoa. I told him not to add the saffron, and he added the saffron, and he ruined it. It's all his fault.
Did he mean to do it? Or do you think
I
it was
told
an
him
accident?
not to, so yes, he had to mean it.
Maybe it was an accident, or maybe one of the cats knocked it over by accident.
No, it was definitely not an accident. He kind of crosses his arms and he goes, Halric ruined our recipe. And he kind of storms out of the storage area.
Okay, well, I say we just take his cats, I guess.
Yes.
Branch, do you want to grab your buddies there?
Yes, please. Kale, sorry, I almost lost my shit there. I'm glad these cats are safe, and I'm sorry about your guys' dish, but I'm gonna go bring these cats back to good old Halric.
Yeah, whatever.
If you don't mind.
Hey, you know what? I've got a great idea. Kale, wouldn't you want to be friends with Halric again?
No.
Are you sure?
No.
He seems
I
to
don't
really.
want to see him. I don't want to talk to him. Take his cats and go.
Well,
But you guys
Well-
would make a great team making dinner for the mayor again.
Roll a persuasion check.
You got an 18.
Oh.
So you kind of like, as you're talking to him, he definitely is like being resistant to it. But after maybe like 5 minutes of you talking to him, he kind of seems to calm down a little bit, and it's kind of like, fine, I'll apologize and we can talk to him, maybe. And he goes, but he better not put saffron in anything again.
We'll make sure we tell him not to put saffron on anything. But it would be great if you guys got back together as a team.
Well,
Short aside, do you have anything against saffron?
and he kind of just looks at you, Frederick, and he's like, it doesn't go in everything, okay?
Okay.
Well, what does it go in?
So I'm personally not a chef, so the DM is just going to be like, I don't know. But as a chef, he goes into a big spiel, like goes into the intricacies of what it should be put in and what it shouldn't be put in. Like,
Now, as a DM, do you have anything against saffron? That was my question.
I do not. No, it was just the first thing that popped in my head.
All right.
Could have been garlic for all I know.
Alright, so I say we go back to Halric and have Kale give him back his cats.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Right? We want to try to reunite them.
I do appreciate the knowledge on saffron though. So I will remember this knowledge forever.
He kind of like, as you're walking out with the two cats in the wicker cages, he pats you on the back and he goes, well, at least somebody will remember it.
Hey, Frederick, don't forget to give Halric that recipe. It might not have saffron in it, or it might have saffron in it.
Actually, it doesn't. It's a very simple recipe.
Okay, good.
It has heart, prayer, and goodwill in it.
But I thought you said it was nutritious to the soul.
Well, of course.
I just doesn't like this.
Okay, so there we go.
All right, so you guys return back to the widows. You guys carry in both, and you guys go back into the kitchen and see Halric, and he goes, Mr. Whiskers! Mr. Smudge, you're back! And he kind of like takes the cages and puts them down and then opens them. He picks up one of the cats, the Mr. Smudge, which is the orange one, the tabby, and he kind of like starts scratching at its belly, and you can see the cat just kind of nuzzles up against him and just starts purring like crazy. And he goes, oh, yes, it's okay, Mr. Smudge. Everything's okay. You're going to be fine.
And Halric, I'd like to let you know that your good friend Kale had your cats, and he was just looking over them. Right, Kale?
Well, Kale's not there.
Oh, I thought he came with us.
No. He had to stay at the other inn and cook.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, we'll just tell him that Kale had his cats and was taking care of them.
I knew he would, but it's okay, Mr. Smudge. Everything's okay. And he continues to kind of rub it behind the cat's ears. The other cat, Mr. Whiskers, kind of rubs up against his leg, and he goes, don't worry, Mr. Whiskers. I'll pet you too soon. Don't worry.
Can I kind of, I want to like whisper over to Hakeem and Branch and Frederick, like, actually, I don't know what Kale was going to do with the cats. I think he was going to eat them.
What? I don't believe it.
I don't know. It sure seemed that way. But Halric, you have your cat. I hope you are happy now. Make sure you take care of them. And I really think that you and Kale should make a team again. He really misses you.
And he goes, sure.
He
Seems
does,
to be
right? Right,
completely
guys?
like zoned into like petting the cats at this point. It's like whatever you guys are saying to him, just he's not paying attention to.
Guys, any help?
I don't think
Huh?
he is aware of the world anymore, Phil.
Okay, well, we did a good deed. Uh, I'm happy with that.
Bahamut would be proud.
Okay. Well, the rest of the 4 or 5 days remaining, nothing really big happens for you guys here. If you guys want to do anything during that downtime, you guys can go shopping. You can, you know, ask questions around town, whatever the case may be. So feel free. This is the time to do that.
I think it's a great time to make my relationship with Bahamut even closer by just spending all my time praying.
Okay, so that's what Frederick does. Hakeem, what do you do for the next 4 days?
Me?
Hakeem?
Yeah, what do you do? There's 4 days of downtime. What do you do?
What are Hakeem's hobbies about other than hustling people?
I mean, you can try and hustle some people here. That's totally fine.
I can? Oh my god, let's do it. Hakeem knows a few card tricks. Have you ever been to France or these countries in Europe where there's people on the streets playing with dices and they scam people?
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I
everywhere.
want to
That's
do
Happens
just
that.
in every
everywhere.
city.
I want to do that.
Okay.
Ever been to Montreal?
Yeah.
They
You
do
ever been
that
to
in
any
Montreal?
major city that happens?
Yes.
Oh well, I've only
Just
seen
go,
it.
just go at Centreville.
Oh
T'as tellement de monde là-bas.
well, I've only seen. Anyways,
Okay.
so what do I roll for this?
So
Flight
go
of
ahead and roll a deception check for me here.
Four.
Okay. Roll a d10 for me.
Uh-oh.
It's not a bad thing.
Ooh, that's all right. 8.
Okay. So over the next 4 days, you kind of do a little bit of hustling here or there. You realize that probably doing this out in the middle of the street is probably a bad thing because most of the streets are muddy and people are really just going from place to place. So you end up going to each of the inns, kind of like, hey, we'll show you some magic tricks, play some card games, kind of thing. And over the or actually I'll say it's 6 days. So over the 6 days, you end up making about 8 gold.
Oh, that is
Nice.
so good.
Yeah, so it's a little more than a gold a day. So not fantastic, but it's enough to get by.
I mean, more than I expected.
There you go. I rolled a 3 to see if they would, fall for your tricks, and you won. So the way the dice rolled.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Feo, what do you want to do over the 6 days?
I just want to be bar hopping.
Okay.
Not necessarily getting drunk, but just kind of meeting people, I suppose.
Sure. So kind of expand your contacts, kind of meet
Yeah.
everyone at the ends.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll say that you meet at least every innkeeper and probably most of the major serving girls or serving boys that are there at each of these places. In terms of money, go ahead and roll a d12.
6.
Okay. So you actually managed to only spend about 6 gold, so about a gold a day.
Sweet.
You end up making more friends than you thought. And people pay for your drinks or just give you free drinks. Other than the 6
Nice.
gold you spend here and there. So not too
Must
bad.
be because you're hot.
I'm
All
not.
right, and
I'm
Branch,
pretty.
what about you? What do you want to do? Again, you guys can go and buy
I mean-
materials, buy stuff, go places. What do you want to do?
Standards in Kiev are pretty low, so
I'm checking out the local feral cat population. I'm I'm gonna try and see if I can rescue some strays.
Okay, where are you going to bring these stray cats when you find them?
I'm gonna bring them to.
Oh man.
I want to bring them to my room in my inn.
Okay.
Actually, I think you should bring him to Hallreek.
He already
it's
has
at the
2
same
cats.
place. Roll an investigation check for me here.
Investigation check. Okay. A 6.
6. Okay. So you don't find a whole lot of cats that are strays. You kind of look around, maybe search a little bit. Most of the cats you find, say there's like one that you find that nobody claims to own. But all of the cats otherwise that you find throughout the town are either owned by like a specific person or company. A lot of the inns have cats to keep rats and other rodents under control. And you find a lot of cats around the docks as well, in the warehouses. Same thing, kind of keep the rats and the rodents under control. You find one stray. So if you want to name your stray cat that hangs out in the inn with you, you may. Go ahead and roll an animal handling check for me too.
Ooh, okay. Animal is a 10.
Okay. So the cat that you find is definitely a little feral, and takes a little bit of time. Like over that week, you've tried to kind of like earn their trust and respect. They haven't clawed your face out yet, but they definitely hiss at you even when you walk in the room.
I will name it Salt.
All right. Well, so on your character sheet, just so you are aware, you can add pets and other things like that. Should be under extras, I believe.
Ooh.
And under extras or add extra, you should be able to do pet, and it should give you a list. But I believe cat is on there.
Oh, I should have went looking for abyssal chickens instead.
No abyssal chickens. But you can certainly add a cat to your character sheet, and you can name him Salt. Or her. I apologize. Could be a he or a her.
Okay.
Perhaps it's just a they.
That's true too. It could be. Never know.
I think
It is
Salt's
whatever
a
Branch
girl.
wants it to be. We'll put it that way.
Cat, tiny beast.
Okay. Well, so while you're doing that, so after about 6 days of all of this chaos going on for you guys, towards the latter half of the evening time on the 6th day, you guys are enjoying your time in the inn, kind of drinking, kicking back. It's maybe about 8 o'clock at night, and there's a pretty good crowd. People are drinking, having a good time. And the storm, like the clouds you guys had seen before, it had started raining a couple of days ago. So it's not pouring, but the streets are muddy and grimy, and people are kind of like, hey, we just want to get out of the rain. As everybody's kind of in the inn, relaxing, having a good time, you guys hear the doors slam open. And you all kind of like midway drinking through your mug of ale or whatever you're drinking, kind of like turn and look to the door. And the entire inn goes silent as this woman enters in. She's a voluptuous woman with blonde hair. Let me pull up her description for you guys
what?
here. Voluptuous
Vulturous?
means very beautiful. She's
okay.
exceedingly beautiful.
I was not familiar with that word, so I was like, a vulture?
Yes, she looks like a vulture. No, she does not look like a vulture. I gotta find the right one. Where is it? All right, so she is a woman with probably in her, I would say, I'm trying to remember her age, to be late 30s, but she has this low-cut gown that she's wearing. She's got a pack on her shoulder, and she's got what looks to be a lute on her other shoulder. She has blonde hair that's braided all in several times. Her hair kind of falls down, kind of framing her face. She has a heart-shaped face with blue eyes and an easy smile. She definitely, like, even without the low cut in her dress, would be very beautiful for her age. And the whole room just kind of stares at her for the moment. And then you hear the goblin kind of sputter into his mug. And he goes, Mistress Stilltide? But how? You died! And the woman, she kind of gives this musical laugh and walks up. She kind of leans over towards the goblin and takes his goblet from him and drinks it. And she goes, now, Mr. Strug, is your opinion of me so low that you think I would be laid low so easily? And she kind of just hands the mug back to him, and he kind of like, what? And everyone's eyes just kind of follow her. She walks up to the innkeeper, leans against the counter, and he kind of goes, good evening, Mistress Stilltide. Your old room? She goes, that would be nice. Do you mind if I perform while I'm here? He goes, oh no, please, you're welcome to do so. She goes, oh, thank you. Oh, if you don't mind. And she kind of turns and looks out across the entire room, kind of looks over, and she pauses for a moment on you and get a quirk of a smile from her. And she goes, if you don't mind, I will be back in a moment. And she goes upstairs, and the whole inn kind of like turns, and like as soon as she's gone, it's like, oh, holy shit, she's alive. Where did she go? What's going on? Like there's just rumors, just people are gossiping left and right about this woman, for whatever reason. At about 3 or 4 minutes later, she returns. Her bags are gone, but she has her lute in hand, and she kind of, as she comes down the stairs, starts to strum a tune, and looks to all of you. Do you guys want to say anything, do anything? She's kind of looks like she's about to perform and sing or tell stories. With a nose blowing right there. Perfect timing.
Sorry about that.
that was like perfect timing,
Okay.
I was gonna say.
So, Hakim is blowing his nose, obviously. So, yeah, I think I'm just kind of looking at what's going on. Kind of intrigued. Frederick appreciates art. You see, there is art behind believing in Bahamut. I am also interested in seeing other forms.
Okay, so she doesn't.
No, that's it.
She doesn't really say anything as you guys chime up, but she just kind of smiles and nods to you. Anyone else gonna say anything or do anything? You guys don't have to. You don't want to.
Is it evening or is it in the evening?
It is evening, yes.
So, Branch actually has a flute in his inventory, but he absolutely does not know how to play it.
Okay.
But he thinks he knows.
Ah,
And
perfect.
he's gonna go ahead and try and show off a bit by playing his flute.
Okay. Go ahead and make a performance check.
Oh, it's gonna be great. This is gonna be great.
This could turn out really great, or it could turn out really awesome, or really bad.
An 11.
You rolled a 1?
An
11.
11. Okay, I thought you said 1. I was gonna be like, oh my god.
You're gonna kill her with your flute.
Yeah. You start fluting and fall over and kill yourself at this point. Okay. So let me roll. So you kind of start playing. She listens to the tune for a moment. She's kind of playing with the lute. And a lute's basically like a small guitar in a way. She kind of starts tuning the strings. Listens to you and kind of like as she walks, she kind of starts tapping her foot to the song that you're playing on the flute. and then she begins to sing. As she begins to sing, you all kind of like lean forward a little bit, listening to her sing and tell a song. She starts telling a story through her song. She tells the story of a mighty warrior who, at the behest of his uncle, the king, had defeated a troll that had kidnapped the king's fiancée. When venturing back through the countryside, the warrior and this damsel became bewitched by a hag to have them madly fall in love. As the pair returned to the castle of the king, the damsel marries the king, but despite this, an affair breaks out between the warrior and the now queen. Years pass, and the king learns of the two lovers and sentences them both to death. The warrior escapes being hung, fighting to his freedom, while his lover avoids beheading, bewitching and charming those that were to kill her. They flee from the mad king, who chases them unto the ends of the earth. Is the first story she tells. She goes about 20 minutes to tell this story, and you think it's well told, kind of all captivating. And after she finishes, she walks over to you, Branch, and kind of takes your mug from you and takes a drink, and she goes, I've seen better performances, but it was an excellent way to introduce me. And by the way, my name is Delana Stilltide. It's a pleasure to meet you. And you are?
Branch. I'm not new here per se, but I don't come to the city often. Nice to meet you.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. She kind of winks at you for a moment before she turns back to the crowd, to the people, and starts to play her lute some more. And this time, when she rolled a natural 20 on her performance check, plus her bonus.
Wow.
So, as she starts, to play the tune, Branch, you go to put to play your flute, and then you realize that you're not familiar with the song or whatever the story is she's going to be telling. It's just something you perhaps haven't heard before. But as she sings and tells this story, she tells the story of how there once was a mermaid whose voice was beautiful beyond compare. Yet, for all she had, nothing could satisfy her curiosity of the world above, a world where her sisters had spoken of time and again of the mysteries and wonders beyond the ocean. When she finally came of age, she ventured to the surface and gazed upon the face of a young prince, with whom she fell in love with. Oh, Frederick ruined my story. Determined to be his wife, she ventured across the ocean before coming to an ancient witch. In exchange for her voice, she would be granted a year on the surface world, a year within which to have the prince fall in love with her and make her his wife. But there was a catch. While she would have 2 legs, it would be painful beyond compare to walk or dance. Undaunted, the mermaid was unburdened by such desires and greed, and went to meet the prince. Over the year, they became friends, but never more, for the prince had fallen in love with another, whose voice made his heart dance. On the prince's wedding night, the mermaid, heartbroken, took her own life, throwing her body and soul back to the depths of the ocean once more. Everybody, when you hear the song, everybody starts cheering and clapping. Again, she rolled a natural 20, so the best performance any of you have ever seen or heard. And a tale that I will say none of your characters have ever heard of, even though you may have heard of it yourself. So, for it there. And she again walks over, kind of as she's telling the story and playing the song. She does go around from table to table and kind of takes people's cups and winks at them or smiles seductively and drinks from their cups. Kind of definitely is very good, it seems to be, at reading the crowd. When it gets to be about 10, 11 o'clock at night and people are starting to filter out, people have tipped her and given her coin. She's definitely made more than enough to pay for the night for her room. But she kind of looks to all of you and bows one final time, and she says, "And with that, I wish you all a good night. And she kind of, the crowd, the people that are left clap and applause her and give her that. And she kind of walks over to a table by herself and sits down and kind of seems to lean back and relax and enjoy a drink.
Yeah, I think at that point, Frederick really has that tune in his head. And he just unconsciously starts singing, like, up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day at the sun, wandering free, wish I could be part of that world.
That's beautiful, Frederick.
That was
Not as beautiful as what's her name? Delana Stillwater.
Sorry, what was that?
Her name is something Stillwater. Delana or
Dilana. So it's Dilana. Still tied.
oh,
By the way, you're all very much welcome for this awesome performance.
It was very welcome. Thank you, Frederick.
Okay. I'm trying to remember her coming in and all that stuff. I don't buy it. I think she's hiding something. So, she said that she was going to sleep already, right?
She said thank you and wish you good night. Most people are filtering out of the end that aren't staying there.
Okay, I kind of want to sneak over to her and talk to her.
Okay, I mean she's sitting at the table. I mean,
I'm just gonna walk over her then. Just kind of casually walk over to her and compliment her on her beautiful songs, and just want to be like, so what are you doing in these inns, like just singing songs randomly?
Well, there's nothing random about the life of a bard. Everyone needs entertainment now and then, don't you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just you seem to your stories are quite beautiful and very well told, very well sung. I just feel like you might have a bit of experience, or this coming from past experiences that you've had yourself.
She kind of laughs for a moment and says, well, I've told these stories many times. I've been on the road and traveling as a bard for, oh, gosh, I don't know, almost 20 years now.
Okay. Well, you do it so well, and I have to say you have me quite mesmerized.
I'm sorry. So what did you say about the mesmerized? I missed part of that.
She said that she does it so well that she has me quite mesmerized with her song. I want her to sing me a song just to me.
Okay, so make a persuasion check.
Oh God, 5.
Okay, so she kind of motions for you to come a little bit closer. And she like, I don't. Are you sitting down at the table with her, or are you just kind of like,
yeah?
Okay.
I want to see like right across from her.
Okay, so she kind of leans over the table and motions for you to get a little bit closer. And you can see as she gets a little like leans in a little bit closer, she starts to hum or sing a little bit, and she looks to you and she gives this almost seductive smile, and she goes, "You're cute, but I'm not looking for fun or companionship tonight." But and she kind of brushes her hand against her cheeks, and she goes, "Perhaps another night, though." And kind of leans back with a smile on her face.
No, that's not what I meant. Okay. She's gonna tease me like that. All right, it's fine.
So you kind of like, that's not what I meant. She goes, oh well, then.
Yeah, that's not what that's not what I meant. I wanted you to sing me a song, but maybe for another time, I suppose.
Perhaps, yes. Well, what brings you here to Kiev then?
Well, just like you, I mean, I'm traveling with my companions here, trying to help out the good people of Kiev. I know we've been struggling quite a bit, but trying to help them out in any way we can.
That is very noble of you. Um, very noble. You can kind of see that she kind of seems to almost like measure you. Like before, she kind of like just kind of done a passing glance and like roll an insight check for me. Probably be a better way to do this.
An insight?
An insight check, yes.
An 8.
Okay. Yeah, so you get the impression that when she first kind of walked in the room and kind of read the room, that she just took you guys for patrons, just travelers, nothing fancy. She definitely, when she looks you up and down this, she's kind of judging you, or not really judging, but maybe like weighing what her opinion of you is more. But more than that, you can't really tell. She does tell you that through the conversation, though, that she says she's also been traveling, and that she is searching for something. She tells you she's searching for the heirloom of a love of hers, a bard with no name, whom she met years ago, and he has promised her wonders and a life together if she could but retrieve it. And she leans forward and she goes, I'm very close. I am searching for the final piece.
Oh, okay. Well, as much as it pains me to know that you have a lover, I would definitely like to help you out in your quest to find this final piece.
Well, it's very sweet of you, but unfortunately, I'm not sure where the final piece is. I have come actually to Kiev to speak to the person that had sent me on this quest. Not my lover, mind you, the person that had told me where to find this object. I have found 2 of the 3 and the 3rd one. He shall hopefully tell me soon.
Would you mind telling us who it was that sent you or gave you this information? Maybe perhaps we could be of service.
I cannot at the moment. I've been sworn to secrecy, as it were. It's part of the deal. You understand. I would not risk a life with my love to tell you but a secret.
Oh, of course. But keep us in mind. You know, we would really like to help if it comes to that point.
I will keep that in mind. Yes, and I'm sorry I did not catch your name.
My name is Feo, and I am with
The Foo Fighters.
the Foo Fighters. Yes, but
He forgot himself.
Direct. No. I was gonna talk about the people that I'm with.
Oh, the Eternal Shadows.
Yes, the Eternal Shadows.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care about you guys. I want to separate myself from you guys.
Well,
That's
she
you.
she seemed impressed by when you mentioned the Eternal Shadows, but she was yes, that would explain the look that you have about you. Makes sense. But well, Feo, I appreciate the help, and it's always nice to have someone with your kind of connections as a friend.
Of course. And yes, I do have my ragtag friends with me. Maybe you might have heard of us. We're the Foo Fighters.
Unfortunately, I have not heard of you. Perhaps in time you will have your own stories, and then I would have heard of you.
Yeah, perhaps maybe in time you might be singing about us.
Well, I look forward to that day. If you'll excuse me, Sir Feo, it is rather late and I am tired. But I will consider your options. Thank you.
Can I try a smooth move and grab her hand and kiss it?
I would say make a dexterity check in this.
Oh man,
Ooh.
I hope she slaps me. Dexterity. Where's it at?
Up left industry.
Oh, okay. Oh my god, I'm already at -2. A 7.
7.
Okay. I feel a slap coming.
So, close, but not quite a slap. So you like she stands and you go to stand and you kind of reach out, and you're not real dexterous, and you go to like kind of grab at her hand to kiss her hand, and you end up tripping over the chair that you just kind of pushed out from under you. Your foot getting caught on the leg, and you're like kind of stumble forward and almost land right in like your face in her chest. And
Oh
she
my God.
catches you for a moment, and she goes, "Huh, a little overzealous, aren't we tonight, Feo?" She kind of gently pushes you back and then taps you on the cheek, and she goes, "I'm not looking for company, as I said, but good night." And
Daisy, I'm so embarrassed.
she turns, and as she gets to the stairs, she kind of turns to you and just kind of smiles, and then goes upstairs.
I look back to the guys like, that went great, guys. That went great.
I have
Wow.
this mental picture of everyone at the table with their thumbs up going, "Yeah, good job."
Did you tell her about our song?
I did.
For the record,
Yes,
if
I
Frederick was
mean,
singing
we're
that out loud,
definitely
everyone
a
heard the
rock
song.
band. You know, our song that we wrote, Best of You, you know, it really stuck with the public.
All right. Well, so kind of keeping things moving. Everyone can mark off another long rest if you guys need to. Otherwise, night
think
comes
it'll
and
change
goes.
anything.
I'm sorry. What was that?
I don't think it'll change anything.
If you guys, I don't think you guys did any spells, but I would like to say it just in case.
No.
Okay, so the following morning, you guys kind of come down into the common room. You go order your breakfasts and meals, and the serving woman kind of comes up to you, and she seems to be like almost bouncing on her heels for a moment. And she goes, "Did you guys hear the news?"
What happened?
Well, you haven't heard?
No.
No, tell us, woman.
Well, she kind of leans forward and she's kind of got like the serving tray in her hand. She kind of leans forward a little bit and she goes, "That woman, Delana, she just stormed out of here in the middle of the night. Just left all of her stuff and just rushed out. No one's seen her since."
I mean, she is an eccentric woman who would practice arts instead of living in Bahamut's glory.
Well, a lot of people. And she kind of just like looks at you like really serious. Like, most people.
I don't believe it. You're a heretic. Just like all of them.
She kind of looks at the rest of you, look like Branch and Feo, and even Hakeem, and she goes, "How do you stand him?"
We ignore him quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, I think it'd probably be good. Either that, or I'd want to stab him. And she glares at Frederick.
What the hell did you just say?
Rolls her eyes, and she just kind of walks away.
That's right. Keep away, foul heretic. Bahamut shall smite you down.
God, Bahamut's like, "Oh my God, who is this guy?"
By the way, Frederick has yet to speak one word with Bahamut.
Oh my. Well, Hakeem and Feo and Branch, what do the three of you want to say or do, if anything, at this point?
I'm speechless. I don't know about saying anything.
Hakeem?
What I'm doing?
What do you... Well, yeah. The serving lady just told you that Delana stormed out in the middle of the night, left all of her stuff, and just like, what? And then she stormed off telling Frederick that, you know, not everyone believes in Bahamut.
And then I just...
No.
I didn't take it.
He's going on a rambling phase right now.
Savar is the only god. What are you talking about?
I mean, you do believe in Bahamut, right? At least.
Branch, do you want to go check out the room? See what maybe she left behind?
No. Now you guys don't understand. Bahamut is the only one great god.
Yeah.
No.
You and Hakeem
Whatever
should
your
argue about it.
business is, it's not as important as what I have to say right now, because my religion is the only one that exists
You and
and
Hakeem
matters.
argue about it. Yeah. You and Hakeem talk about it and see whose religion is more important. Branch and I are gonna go
Mine, obviously.
look at the room.
Branch and Feo, is that what you guys are gonna do?
I want to do that. I want to go check out the room. Yeah. See if there's any clues or anything.
Branch.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good place to start.
Okay. So you guys wait a moment for the serving lady to come back with your like bread and porridge, and as that occurs, as she's kind of like putting the food down, you guys take the opportunity because she's kind of glaring at Frederick, who's I would assume going off at her about calling her a heretic, and you guys take the moment to quickly stand and make your way up into the back upstairs. You guys make it into the hallway. And you're not sure exactly which room was hers, but there's a young woman that kind of seems to be like locking one of the doors for a moment. Let me make sure I describe her correctly. She's a gnome, and she's kind of got her hair like dirty brown hair, or dirty blonde hair, I should say, kind of pulled up into a bun. And as you guys kind of walk around the corner, like up the stairs, she goes, "Oh, good morning. What can I do for you?" She's got like linens kind of tossed over her, like her arm, like she's changing the linens in the various rooms.
Our friend was staying in this room the other night, and she kind of just stormed out, and we just kind of want to see if she was okay, if she's like if she left something. We're just she seemed kind of frazzled, so we just want to help her out. You know?
Oh, sounds very nice of you. Yes. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check for me, Branch,
Persuasion.
or deception, either one, because you're kind of lying and you're trying to convince her to let you into a room.
Oh, I got a 6.
What'd you get?
6.
6.
Oh, nice.
So you guys like, she seems really hesitant against this. She's like, "No, I really shouldn't," and you guys kind of like takes you guys about 10 minutes to finally convince this woman, who you learn her name is Zinley Bird. Yes, that is her name. It's Zinlee, and then Bird, Bird.
Zenly Bird.
Zinley Bird. You finally manage to convince her, and she kind of leads you down the hallway. And she's like, "Oh, I don't know. As long as she may be your friend, but it's her room." And you're kind of like, it's okay. Don't worry. You're not gonna get in trouble." And she finally unlocks the door and kind of is like, "Okay, if you say so," and just lets you guys into the room. And she opens up. You can see that the bed is completely like unmade, like they haven't come in and touched it. And there is what looks to be a backpack. Was the backpack that she had before. You saw Delana walk in with before. Her bags are still there. It's kind of leaning up against the edge of the bed. Otherwise, her like you see that there might have been some kind of armor that she had, and you knew there was a sword she had carried, and her sword's gone too. But it seems like more of her personal items are here or left behind.
Okay. Is what's her name? Hanley or Kenley? Is she right next to us still?
Oh yeah, she's kind of like you guys have kind of standing in the doorway. Nobody's gone in the room yet. Outside of the bed and the bag that's like the top of the flap of the bag is open. There's a small little like nightstand with a pitcher of water, and then a wash basin. Other than that, there's nothing else in the room. It's just that stuff.
Is there any sign? Is there like any signs that anything that we can look for that like would tell like where she went.
Yeah, you're standing in the doorway. There's nothing obvious, like right away. If you want to look in the room, you're gonna have to step in and
Yeah, okay, I'll step
investigate.
in the room and look
Yeah.
at the bed, I guess.
Okay, so go ahead and both of you guys just make an investigation check.
11.
I got a 16.
Okay. So on the 11, so I'll say, Branch, you kind of walk over to the nightstand and the wash station. There is some water in the wash basin, and the rest of it is in. It looks like she had kind of poured some of it in. It's not very much, not enough to wash with. It's almost like she started to pour some in and then stopped. But there's no other obvious signs of anything. There's no mirror or anything in the room at all. Seems like she might have just been in the process of washing herself or pouring the water to and then stopped. Theo, you walk over and kind of check the bed. It's definitely been slept in. She definitely slept in the bed a little bit. There's nothing obvious in the bed, but as you kind of filter through her bag, you find that there is cooking supplies, there's traveling equipment, there are several changes of clothes which are folded up very nicely and kept in good shape. You do find multiple coin pouches. In total, between all the coin pouches, there is 12 platinum, 38 gold, 49 silver, and 120 copper. There is also a leather-bound book with a seal. It's kind of a lock to it. And there's a scroll tube with a painting of a man with black, windswept hair and a mischievous smile and deep brown eyes. There's an ink set pair of small leather-bound books with various poems and songs. And then in the book of poems, there are several underlined poems that each talk about love and longing. The books are named as follows. They are Amores, written by Strun Stormstar. The second one is Seductive Bliss, written by Egmal of Westrite. And then the third one is Enchanted by the Blue Eyes of Your Dreams, written by Penryn Beachspark.
Now, Branch, I know we've. But Branch doesn't know about all the gold and all that stuff, right?
No, just you have looked and seen that stuff.
Okay. Then I am going to be a gentleman. I am not going to steal any of it. Other than I want to take the picture of of the guy.
Okay. Easy enough. I mean, there's no one else in the room other than you two. I mean,
Yeah,
the gnomish
I
woman Zenli is kind of like, she's kind of like looking in, but you could easily hide like the bag in your body. Could block the bag. So
I want to do that.
Okay.
And I want to see. Okay, then I kind of want to show. I'll show Branch like, hey, this is the guy that she was talking about yesterday. I think. This could be her lover that she was talking about. She wants to be with, and although it does hurt me to know that she does have a lover, I kind of want to help her.
Branch.
Hello?
Did we lose your Branch?
Well,
Oh,
hello?
yeah.
No.
Theo's
Hi,
asking
hi.
you questions.
Oh, sorry. What did you say?
That the picture that I found that I'm going to show you a picture of I think it's Delana's lover, and I think it might be this guy right here. Maybe we might be able to find him.
We should show his picture to some people around. Maybe they've seen him.
Yeah, you know what? It's not a bad idea.
Uh,
Maybe the mayor, you think, or the dockmaster.
So both
yeah,
of
get
you
the doc.
go ahead and roll an intelligence check. So it's just a straight intelligence roll.
12.
What if they're not straight?
13.
So 12 and a 13. Okay. So just so you guys know, so the scroll is old. It's faded a little bit. The scroll's probably like, I mean, the picture in it is faded. So she's probably had the picture for a long time. There is something familiar about the picture, but you're not sure where. You think you like there's something with the face. You're like, maybe I've seen this guy before somewhere. Like, you just can't really piece it together.
Can we show it to? Yeah, I want to show Frederick and Hakeem. Maybe they might be able to recognize who this guy is. 'Cause he looks really familiar.
And they've been across from far and wide. At least Frederick has in the West or whatever he says.
Yeah, I want to show them. Maybe they might be able to help us out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right. So you guys leave the room, and Zinli locks the door behind you guys. You guys go back downstairs and sit back down at the table, and Hakeem and Frederick are talking or bickering or whatever you want to say they're doing.
No! The habit is the best!
You guys are still going at it?
You know, I'm getting tired of this. I don't think he'll ever understand. Perhaps it is time to talk of other things.
Well, great, Frederick, because I know from last night we all enjoyed Delana's beautiful singing, but she did say she needed help with finding something and someone, and I have a picture of who I think she was talking about. Do you recognize this guy?
Let me see.
I'm going to hand it over to you.
Okay. Make an intelligence check.
Okay. So I would have been across the Empire, so maybe. And that's a 10.
A 10.
Oh, man.
Same kind of thing. Something seems familiar about him, but you can't quite place your finger on it.
I believe I've seen this face before, but I couldn't place where. You see, I'm very old and I've seen many places in the Empire. It's difficult to remember exactly.
Well, you're of no use. What about you, Hakeem?
He's not even from around the continent. He's probably from the demon realms.
Well, let's give him a chance. Maybe he might be able to recognize him.
Well, all right, Hakeem, roll an intelligence check.
Let's
there was
try.
one other note in that you found tucked into the book of poems. I put it in the your guys' group chat as well.
I got 13.
Yeah, man, you guys are all rolling right around the same.
Jeez.
Yeah, we're getting super good rolls.
It's the same thing, Hakeem. You're like, I think I've seen him before, but I don't know where or how or why.
I have seen him. I thought you were coming from the demon realms.
Okay, I mean, well, we can probably maybe ask around town and see if anybody recognizes him.
Okay, so I'll say you guys go ahead and ask around. All of you guys can do this. I'll say you guys can all make an investigation check. It's kind of go around town asking, like, hey, have you guys seen any of this? Like, who do you recognize this?
I got a 17.
Reg also got a 17.
Two 17s, Hakeem and
Right.
Frederick.
So
you guys
it's
get a roll?
roll for what?
Investigation. You guys ask around
Investigation.
town.
13.
Middle of the pack again. Hakeem,
Yep.
What?
did you want to roll an investigation to see if you guys can find out if somebody around town knows who this is?
11.
Oh man, Frederick and
Oh,
Hakeem, you guys are just
man.
harsh rolls. Okay.
Yeah, it's because we both have very little charisma, let's say.
You guys have a +1. Okay, so I will say, Feo and Branch, you guys kind of managed to ask around, and people are like, yeah, the face looks familiar. Maybe I've seen him. Like, I don't know, weird. Everyone's like, I don't know where I've seen that. And
Oh my
finally,
Oh
god.
my
somebody like you're
god.
passing by like one of the shops, and you're like, hey, you recognize this guy? Like, have you ever seen this person before? And you're kind of like, everyone seems to have seen him before. And the person kind of like takes the painting and kind of looks at it, and he goes, huh, there was this bard that I heard of once. Didn't have a name that I can remember, but there was all these flyers that I saw once back on the further west from here. Where was it from? It was a wanted poster, I think. The guy kind of sits there and thinks for a moment. He goes, yeah, could just be me, but if you age this guy about 10 years, he could be one of that bard that goes around with them Avengers folks. The ones that sent us into the Civil War to begin with? Could be him.
Oh.
Ooh.
Who the hell are these? Avengers.
Well, Sophia or Frederick, you would definitely have known who they are. They are rumored to have been responsible for killing the Emperor and one of the barons. Would have been about 5 years ago.
Horrible! How dare they kill
They're lucky
our
to never come
great
across the
leader?
Foo Fighters.
Oh god. Okay. So where can we find these Avengers at?
The guy kind of shrugs. Hell if I know. I mean, I sure as hell ain't around here.
Huh.
Well,
Maybe that
that is a
explains.
good thing. These murderous, heretical, blasphemous, horrible, mischievous, callous, evil.
Uh,
You done
Yeah.
yet? Or are you still going?
Any more
Okay, Frederick says about like
I feel like,
synonyms for like 5 minutes and
yeah, I
finally
feel like this
concludes.
guy that you guys are talking to and everyone there with you, Frederick, is just kind of like jaws dropped and just listening to you. And every time you say a word, they just kind of, huh? Kind of this, like, why are you still talking kind of nod? And they just watch and don't stop you for whatever reason.
Basically, Frederick is just flexing his vocabulary.
So yes, so you guys have a general idea. The guy's pretty like, could be him, couldn't be. You never know. When he says it looks familiar to a wanted poster, the guy's seen, a couple years ago.
Gotcha. Oh, well, maybe that's why everyone was so caught off guard at the end when they saw her walk in. They thought she was dead. Maybe they knew she was in cahoots with the Avengers. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Um, yeah, I don't even know where to go from
Perhaps
here. I mean,
they
they
know
didn't
each
really give
other.
us so much information.
Perhaps we could find a bard, their bard in town, and they would know something. It seems that they're both musically inclined.
I will say with your investigation checks and asking around, there are no other bards in town. At least none that have come up and said, "Hey, I'm performing." You guys would be familiar enough with bards, traveling bards. They tend to be very egotistical and think they're the greatest thing since like sliced bread. So when they come into town, they try to advertise like, "Hey, come see my show. I'm gonna be performing." And in the week, like the week and a half you guys have been here, no one's even remotely acted that way or come out and said, "Hey, come visit, come see me perform."
Gotcha.
So you're pretty confident. No one's said anything.
Well,
Okay. I was reading the note, and the
Suppose-
note doesn't really help.
So just so you know, so the note is just, it's more like, it looks like it was written in a different hand, so probably maybe she wrote it.
Okay.
It seems more like maybe a riddle than anything else.
Yeah, something about being unbound. I'm trying to remember of all the things, all the clues that we've gone through. I mean, the only thing that I can think of is maybe going back to the Dockmaster and the mayor and asking them anything if they've know where these Avengers might be.
I have an idea. I shall ask Bahamut for insight.
Sure. You know what? I'll take anything right now.
Actually, yeah. You know what, Frederick? Go right ahead.
All right. Well, Frederick, if you're asking for Bahamut's guidance, what are you doing specifically?
Okay. So here's what Frederick will exactly do. He's gonna lay out his just holy tome on the ground. And he's just okay, so what do I have in my inventory? Okay, I've got a tinderbox, so I can make fire. So he's just gonna start burning his own skin and going like, I suffer for you, Bahamut.
Oh my god.
Please give us guidance.
Okay, so as you're doing this in the middle of the street, like again, it rained a couple days ago, so the streets it's muddy, or just kind of getting less mud at this point. People just kind of like start to see you do this and start praying, and people start making a wide berth around you guys. Even the guy you were talking to is like, "All right, I'm done."
I'm
He
gonna
starts
kind
praying
of
like this, and I call it quits, and he just like, yeah, "Good luck," and he just kind of walks away.
So, does Friedrich hear any voices from the heavens?
Only whatever voices are in his head.
Oh man, I thought something good was gonna
I
happen.
know exactly where to go. Follow me. I know the way.
Sure.
I would
mean,
say
what
make
else?
a deception check.
Okay.
Just see if ever like you're just trying to bullshit your way through it.
11.
Okay. You seem like Theo and Branch and Hakeem. You're like watching him, and he stands up, and he seems like he kind of might know where he's going or what he's doing, but you're like, okay.
I mean, it's Frederick.
You have to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I'm alright with that.
Okay.
All right, well, Frederick,
we'll
where do you lead them?
I'm gonna lead them to whichever building in town looks aesthetically the best. What would that be?
I mean, the place is in a swamp, so none is really aesthetically more pleasing than the other.
Okay.
You could pretty much just say, I go to that building, and just randomly pick a building.
Okay, you know what? He just starts smelling.
Oh,
Frederick just goes like,
Bahamut tells me to follow my nose. Then I shall do so.
he just goes to a random house.
Okay. So we'll say that this house you go up to, it's a little bit bigger than the rest of the houses, and you notice that unlike the other houses, it's kind of up slightly on a hill. So the stilts that it's on are not as high as every other's. It's only maybe 4 or 5 feet up off the ground versus everyone else's that's probably closer to 10. And you notice that as you walk up to this house, it's actually probably cleaner, more whitewashed for it there. And there's a plaque on the side by the door, and it says, this is the esteemed house of Mayor Zilbram Fenridge. and there's a silver knocker on the front door. The front door is painted like a bright green color, or like a forest green color, I should say.
Huh. So I'm gonna knock on the door with the silver knock.
Okay. After a moment, you hear a woman's voice. Yes, who is it?
I am Frederick Stonewell, humble servant of Bahamut. I am here on holy mission.
Oh, okay. You hear a latch open, and a door opens a little bit, and she goes, "I'm sorry. You said you're on a holy mission?"
Well, of course. I am here to only help the good people of this world. Now, Phil, what the fuck are we doing again?
We're trying to find clues. Show him this picture. Show her this picture.
Yes, of course. I totally remembered. I was kidding. Ha ha. Would you have seen this man before? I just show her the picture.
Okay, so this woman she's an older woman. She's maybe in her mid to late 30s. Older than all of you. So maybe Frederick. I don't know how old you are, Frederick, but definitely older than the rest of you.
Yes, I am old.
15.
Everyone else is 15. Awesome. So she is human, and she has a ponytail, kind of a braided ponytail that goes down to the back of her, or would be the kind of the middle of her back. She has it pulled over. She's wearing a rather nice dress, kind of good cotton clothing, and she kind of pulls the door open a little bit more, and she goes, "Well, this, I don't know who that is. Why would I know who this is?"
Well, to be honest, so, where are we looking for this guy again?
It's for the Bard Delana.
Well, of course, yes.
He's with the Avengers.
It's, Avengers. Iron Man.
Who? And you
The
hear a
Hulk.
voice. You hear a familiar voice in the background, and it goes, "Madison, dear, who is that?" And the woman can turn. She goes, "I'm not sure. Some holy man." She kind of looks you up. She goes, "Someone with Bahamut, I think." And then he's like, you hear the voice go, "Oh, who?" And you see walk around, like she kind of steps back a little bit, and you can see it's a very nice house, much nicer than you've probably seen around town at all in general. There is like a solid wooden floor. It looks like it's been well polished, almost like white walls inside that are plastered over. There's paintings on the wall, and around the corner from looks like out of a dining room, you see the mayor kind of walk around. And he's got a napkin tucked into his shirt, and he goes, "Oh yes, I know this man. They were the ones that helped us recently." And he kind of steps up to the door and pulls the napkin out, and he goes, "Well, you said you're here on a holy mission?" And you see the woman.
Well, yes, of course. Would you have seen this man before? And I just show the picture of the bard again.
And he kind of you kind of shove the picture in his face, and he's like, "Well, no, I don't recognize him. Should I?"
Well, yes, of course. He is quite popular from what I hear. I'm not very much of this new generation, so I'm not very much knowledgeable of what is trendy, but I was hoping you might.
I don't. What? It's the middle of supper. Perhaps come back later. This is not a mission, a holy mission. And he kind of he goes, "Come, Madison, let's go back to supper." And he goes, "Good day," and he kind of closes the door in your face.
Frederick.
This man clearly lacks any kind of respect or politeness, let us depart.
Well, I mean, it was worth a try, I guess.
I trusted you, Frederick.
All right. Well, it is getting late for everyone, so we're gonna end there for the night, with you guys standing outside of the mayor's house with Frederick holding the painting of this man that may or may not be related to the Avengers in some way, and that
Nice.
is where we will pick up next time.